Alright guys, welcome back to Two Eagles Garage. We're working on this little John Deere carburetor here today. We've popped my new ultrasonic machine that I got for Christmas out. We're going to put all these parts and the body in it and see if we can't get it cleaned up. Now all I've got in here is a little bit of Dawn dish detergent to cut grease with. So we're going to get everything put in here and we're going to see how it goes. See, it's got clean water in it. So we're going to get everything dropped down in there. We're going to put the float in first. See if it floats. It appears to float. We got the shaft, the blades, top plate. Let's see, let's go ahead and put the body in here because it'll take me a second to get it arranged. Alright guys, bear with me here for a minute. I'm trying to make sure it all gets down in here good. I'm gonna have to add just a touch more water in it because I want that over that hole right there. It ain't quite over it enough, but we're gonna see. Maybe if I add just a touch more. It's already up quite a bit. I didn't anticipate it being up that much. Working on getting this little screw out of this black piece over here. There we go. Where'd my screw go? Where did you go? Ooh. Oh, there it is. It rolled all the way back here. What are the chances of that happening? It rolled all the way back behind the drill press. We're going to drop the emulsion tube in. The bottom half of the emulsion tube. And I've got the jets down in the bowl because I don't want to lose them too far down in here. Hoping that they'll stay in there. And I'm not going to be able to add more water to it, so that there's just going to have to do it. Find me something to dry my hand off here real quick, guys. Alright, y'all see I got it all in there. Alright, we're going to turn it on. Oh, might help if I plug the power up, huh? I guess I should have paid that more attention, huh? Alright, now we got power. Alright, we're going to turn it on, but we're going to set it to 480, and we're going to turn the heat on, and I put hot water in with it, guys. Let's see if we can see. Look, we can see this working already. Already cleaning all that gunk off of there. Alright guys, well, about 4 cycles later the carburetor's out. I did wind up adding some purple power in it because there was some tough grease that dish detergent just wasn't cutting through. And it discolored the aluminum a little bit, but not much. I mean, it just turned it gray. It's still perfectly usable. So we're gonna assemble it and send it as it is. I've got all the gaskets and stuff here. They come in yesterday. So we're gonna get it all put together probably tomorrow sometime or this week sometime. And I'll get a good video of me assembling it and installing it on the lawnmower. Yeah, purple power is some strong stuff. I didn't put, but maybe a few ounces in the ultrasonic cleaner, and that's what it done. I mean, just a few ounces, and the rest of it was water and dish detergent. I mean, all the plastics come out okay. They cleaned up real good. A little dirty from where I've been touching them, but they cleaned up good. This piece right here cleaned up pretty decent. It was pretty bad. The shaft, and there's a little corrosion on this, but it was on there before I put it in there. It's got some rust pitting in the bottom that didn't come out. But that'll be fine. It'll still be runnable as it is. This little piece had some goo in it from some old fuel. It cleaned up good. It's still got some discoloration right there, but it'll be fine. It won't hurt nothing. For the most part, it all turned out good. So we're going to get this all cleaned up and put together. And we're going to see how it does. I'll come back to you guys whenever I get ready to assemble it. Alright guys, let's start getting this carburetor assembled. I've got my pack of parts here. I've got you guys about the best view I can get you today. So we're going to start assembling this carburetor. And I've got to pick through the gaskets and stuff like that. We're going to start with this little O-ring here. The emulsion tube O-rings. I'm just going to dump all these parts out into my little pack over here. And this is a universal kit, guys. It services several different types. So you're going to have extra parts left over. What I do with the extra parts, I put them in a Ziploc bag and put them in a container and save them in case I need them in the future. This is the little gasket you need for the emulsion tubes. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. Let's see if I can get you a better shot. It's that little gasket. And it'll just sit right down on here. And it kind of sits right down in there. Let's see. Maybe it won't fall out. Good, it won't. Alright, then you just put it right down on here very carefully. Make sure it seats on there good. You grab a screwdriver. Guys, I've seriously got to clean my workbench off at some point. I just got so much stuff over here, it's not even funny. So many parts and projects, man. I got enough projects to last me for the next 10 years. Alright, and the 2 screws for it are in the bowl over here. Remember guys, keep track of all your parts. These 2 screws with the washer type heads on them are what go on the emulsion tube. And you want to get a screwdriver that's going to fit it better. That one don't fit it quite tight enough. I want one that's got a little bit better fit to it. Without it being a giant screwdriver. But it looks like I'm going to have to go with one of the bigger screwdrivers. I don't think that big one will fit. No. Oh, come on, really? I keep picking up flatheads, but no Phillips heads. Alright guys, let me scoot over to my other toolbox real quick, I think. Yeah, because what I have is not over here. Give me 1 second, guys. Let's see here. There we go. Yeah, because I have a toolbox back here that's nothing but carburetor tools. Just come out of my other toolbox, it'll work for now. So 1x3 Phillips head screwdriver, and you want it to fit in there kind of snug because you don't want to strip these screws out. That's the last thing you want to do. And remember guys, you don't have to gorilla these things tight. You just kind of snug them down in there. You want to make sure it stays seated good. See how I stopped when it started pulling it down a little bit? You want to get that O-ring seated even. Because if this emulsion tube leaks around that part, you'll never get it to run right. Guys, you have to ignore the mower in the background. My neighbor decided today was a good day to cut his grass. For some reason. Alright guys. There's the emulsion tube in. Now the tedious part. You got these 2 jets. Let's see. Alright, one is marked with 3 lines and one is marked 2 lines and a 4. The 2 lines and a 4 goes on the right. The 3 lines go on the left. If I'm understanding that correctly, because like I said, whenever I tore this carburetor apart, one of the jets was laying down in the bowl. And when I went to take it apart, I didn't realize they were marked. I thought they were the same. So I'm hoping, I think I went back and looked at the video, and I'm thinking I've got them laid out right, but I'm not positive. And I was told that they're different sizes and that they would make it run funny if you put them in backwards. But they look the same diameter and everything like that, so we're going to find out. I'm hoping I'm right, because I don't want to pull this back apart, but if not, we'll just take it back apart and fix it right. It ain't no big deal. Need my little O-rings for it. And you got 2 tiny little O-rings in this kit. and they are tiny. And I wouldn't have even bothered with the jets, but the O-rings were so rotted that they just fell apart whenever I took them out. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but that's one tiny O-ring on one tiny little jet. And you do want to lube these with something, guys, before you put them in. It don't matter what you lube it with, really. Just don't use a whole lot of it. And my big fingers are not easy for picking stuff up like this. Alright, let's see. Here's the other jet. There we go. Alright, now if I'm not mistaken, this one's got the 3 lines on it, so it should go over here. Let's see. What can I use to lube these with? Got a little bit of oil over here I might can use. Alright guys, drop that one. Oh, now this is going to be the tedious part, trying to get this in here right. Without dropping it and losing it. Because if you lose it, it's hard to find these by themselves. I'll just take the shaft right here and use it to push it in. And hope and pray that that O-ring is fine. Which it looks like it's fine. Don't look like it's going to fall out. So I think we're good on that one. Now we'll put the other one in. Let me lube it up real quick. And guys, you could even use spit from your tongue to lube this up. I don't recommend that, but you could. Make sure that that's not going to come out. Make sure they're sitting down in there good and even. Biggest issue is to make sure that they're not going to come out. Alright, they look like they're in there good and even. Take my light real quick and shine down in there. Make sure we are good. Oh yeah, we're good. And they are different diameters. I had not realized that. Well, maybe not. If they are, it's minutely different, and it'll show up when I go to run it. And then I'll know, hey, I just need to take it apart and change the jets on it. So it won't be that big of a deal. Except for the fact that the whole daggum carburetor has to come back off to do that. Alright, there's the jets, guys. Remember, be careful when you take them apart. And a lot of times, remember, like I said with these carburetors, the jets fall out into the carburetor bowl. I've taken apart several of these. I haven't never rebuilt one, but I've taken them apart, and 90% of the time I found at least one of the jets in the bowl. Alright, we'll put this in next. I got a gasket for it as well, and it goes right down in here. Grab the gasket for it. You always want to check your gaskets and make sure they're right. Like this one's got 2 big holes, 4 little holes, and a big hole in the center. So see, we're good there. See? Alright, then what we'll do is we'll lay this gasket down in here the way it's supposed to go. And guys, this carburetor did turn out a little bit faded because I put some purple power in there anyway. And I mean, I put a minute amount in it, and it still dyed the carburetor, or stained the carburetor. But it come out okay. I think it's still going to be usable. We're going to rebuild it. We're going to send it. If you ain't going to full send it, why do it? Alright, that one's good and tight. It's got a good proper seal on it. And this is a good quality gasket, guys. This gasket kit actually comes from Amazon. So it's a good quality kit. And my ultrasonic cleaner over here actually did pretty good. I didn't think it would do that good, but it actually did pretty good. And then you got this part which sits down over here. But we'll put that in a minute. I want to go ahead and get the shaft in, and then we'll go from there. Alright guys, this shaft goes through here, and you really can't put it in backwards. There's no way to really put it in backwards because of the flat spots. Well, I say there's no way to put it in backwards, but am I wrong? Oh, I see what I'm doing wrong. Like I said, guys, it's been a long time since I've rebuilt a carburetor. Not something I have to rebuild very often because carburetors have gotten so cheap, I usually just replace them. But I'm trying to save this guy some money. No, we want it to open to the outside, not to the inside. I think, anyway. And that doesn't close all the way. It don't make sense. Why are you not making... Oh, I know what it is. No, it's on there right. Give me a minute, I'll figure this out, guys. It's just not closing all the way. And I don't know if it's supposed to or not. Because I think this is just a choke. And the others are the primaries. Actually closes off a little better opening like that. Alright guys, let me pause you and go back and take a look. I don't want to have to redo this one. Alright guys, so this actually opens to the inside. Alright, so you want it to go... Oh, come on, get back out of there. You want it to go like that right there. So that way when you open it, it opens to the inside. And I would recommend, if you have it, putting some thread locker on these screws so that they do not come out. I do not have any on hand, and I've never had any back out before. And once again, my fat fingers are not making this easy on me. There we go. Alright, then you just tighten it down. I'm just going to snug this one until I get the other one in place. Then we'll do the final look, make sure everything's good, and then we'll tighten it on down. And guys, keep in mind, you could get this carburetor for cheap off of Amazon. I think I found one for like 50 bucks. But I was trying to save this gentleman some more money and found this kit for, I think, around, let's see, I want to say $10 or $12. So I figured I would try to rebuild it first, and then if it doesn't work, I won't charge him for the kit. Because he's paying for parts, that's all he's paying for. I'm doing the labor for free mostly. And that way it helps him out, and I get content for you guys. See, it needs to open up like that right there. And that's the choke plate, guys. Throttle plates are over here. Notice how they have the I don't know if you guys can see it, but there's little rectangular tubes right there that allow it to run a little better. Wum, wum, wum. Yeah, because the lawnmower would sound like that, huh? Maybe one day. Maybe one day we'll build one that sounds like that. Alright guys, and you have an O-ring that goes around the end of this right here too. And this is a fairly good size O-ring too. And it just kind of seals that off whenever you tighten the bowl up. Let's see, you can't put it that way. Really? My fingers, man. I was hoping I could pick it up without having to bend it all the way over. All right, guys. Yeah, and this right here should seal up against this. That's why I don't sandwich the O-ring down in it, because that O-ring is way too big to sandwich down in there. So what it'll do is it'll seal kind of up against that whenever I tighten this in. Is the theory anyway. We're hoping. Because I don't think that you would get, yeah, there's no way you'd get that O-ring down in there like that. Because I'll show you the old one. Yeah, see, the old one was all squashed out, flattened. That started out life as an O-ring. It is no longer an O-ring. So that's the way that one's supposed to go. And then this will go on the bottom of the bowl, and that'll stop the gas flow whenever you shut the engine off. Float come clean, float come real clean. And I have a new needle and a new shaft for it as well. We'll stick the needle in the float, just like so. Hoping you guys can see that. And then we'll gently set the float down in without dropping that needle out like I just did. Alright, we'll tilt the carburetor back a little bit. There we go. Float is in. Don't forget to put your pin in. There we go. I think the other one was a one-way pin that would only come out one direction. Yes. The other pin would only come out one direction. This one can come in or go out both sides. Alright, we're getting close, guys. Let's get this bowl on here and get the gasket on here. These O-rings right here, I have a weed eater outside made by Cub Cadet. This gasket right here, no one can get. It cannot be bought unless you buy a whole kit, and the whole kit is nearly triple the price of the carburetor. Of a whole brand new carburetor. The kit just to get that O-ring is $44. I told that man at the parts place, I was like, nope, you can keep it. Alright, and then you have this little red washer. See if you can see that. There we go. It goes on this right here. Then this goes in. Oh, I forgot one major part, guys. How many of you can guess what I forgot? Ta-da! The nut that goes in the bottom of the bowl. Can't put that on without that. Because remember, when we took it apart, it wasn't welded in there. Now the trick is getting it threaded onto it without cross-threading it. Come on, little fingers. You can do it. Alright, let's see here. Now how to hold it while you tighten it. Do I have a wrench in here that would fit it? A wrench. That one might work. Nope, too big. Oh, what we got over here? What we got, guys? Come on now. That might be, yeah, there we go. You want to make sure this is facing the right direction, guys. And make sure you tighten it down good. I don't remember what size this one was. Let's see if I can find a wrench to fit around it. That one's too big. No, I had a special one here somewhere to fit it. Is it the one I'm using? No, it is not. Let's see here. That one's too fat, I think. Yep. Too big. How about this one? That works. Alright, I'm going to have to loosen that back up just a tad because I'm trying to position this anti-backfire valve. I'm trying to position it a certain way so that I don't have any trouble when I go to put it back on. I'm going to put it like that right there, and maybe we can turn it like this. Tighten it. This is hard to do. And remember, guys, be careful, don't tear your gasket. And it don't have to be gorilla tight, just make sure it's tight enough that it won't leak. There we go, that should be exactly the way it was sitting from the factory. Throw those back in there. Alright, let's see here. How was this thing sitting on there? Let's see, the fuel line was to the back. This was to the front. So yes, sits like that. Let's see here. And that right there. Yep, see, and that locks down on that bolt that's in there. Alright, that points to the left side, so we'll get that tightened down. Let me dig for my screws over here. Cut the 2 screws. Let's get this on and get it tightened down, and we should be ready to go out and throw it on the mower. I probably won't film me putting it back on, but I will film the first startup, because you guys saw the reversal of putting it on. I mean, you guys saw me take it off, just to speed the process up a little bit. And I just found out today, guys, that this gentleman is home from the hospital. He just got home yesterday. He's doing some better, but he's still having some pretty severe headaches. So guys, let's still keep him in our prayers and keep praying for his good health, and praying for him to make a full recovery, guys. And I'm not one to sit here and preach at you. If you want to pray for him, that'd be great. If you don't want to pray for him, that's fine too. Let's just, all in good hopes, hope he gets a full recovery. Because this gentleman's a very nice gentleman, and it's been a great pleasure knowing him and being his friend, as well as his neighbor. And it's just him and his wife, so let's just send some good thoughts and prayers up to him, if you guys wouldn't mind. Now we got to put this one on, and there is a gasket that goes up under this piece as well. And guys, when you're taking these things apart, if you have a screw that don't want to move, and you're already using a screwdriver that's the right size to fit it, get you a impact driver, not a battery powered one. This is when you put on the screw and you smack it with a hammer, and that'll loosen these screws. I've had to do it 100 times. This is your gasket for this one. Goes on just like that, and then you put it just like so. Goes together like cream and butter. I don't really know what cream and butter goes together like, but thought it sounded good. Though a good cup of coffee does sound good though. Maybe one of these days I'll get a shop built, And I'll actually have somewhere to work that's a little bit larger and better suited for stuff like this. And you want to kind of tighten these down evenly. Like I'm going to go back and loosen these two and tighten that center one down first so that you can get a good seal on it. Because a lot of vacuum stuff happens right here. I don't know exactly how it works, but I know a lot of vacuum stuff goes on in this little area. As well as fuel travel too. I think the vacuum causes the fuel to travel through. You want to get them good and tight too. Alright, there's that. Inlet, outlet. Letting air in, flip your carburetor up. Blow in the tube. If it's upside down, it should not be taking any kind of air in. See? I don't know if you guys can see that from my hat. Let me take my hat off. Nothing there. Turn it back over. And it lets fuel in. Alright guys. So now all I have is the rest of the other gaskets I have. We'll go ahead and put the intake on it. I'm going to take and wipe that off real quick. Put my hat back on so you don't have to look at my bald head. Alright guys, let's see. Let's see, this part was... No, it goes like this. I think. Yes, because there's a cutout on that side for the shaft to go through. Bam, 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 bam. I believe this one was the choke. Let me go look at some more pictures I took, real guys, and I'll be back. Alright guys, and as you can see by this video, I'm not perfect at this. You know, I don't do this every single day of my life, so I'm not perfect at it. But then again, nobody's perfect at anything, are they? So it goes like this, of course, with your gaskets, and you can see that it is warped. So we may double gasket this one. I've got enough to double gasket, but I don't really want to unless I absolutely have to. So that may tighten up as I tighten it. I'm hoping. But that's the big thing with these plastic intakes. They warp so bad, they warp all the time. Every one of them I've ever seen has been warped. But I'm hoping to get a good seal through it. Yeah, they sent me double gaskets just in case, so. Actually, good Lord, how many gaskets did they send me? They sent me 2 for this back side. So I guess 2 for each side. Wow. And this kit does come with a metal spacer. It's got the little eyelets on it, but this carburetor does not call for it. So I'll save it for the next one. I put that on a carburetor that didn't call for it before, and it burnt me. Yeah, I never could get that carburetor to run right. Let's see. I don't think it matters how that goes. Let's take a look at the old gaskets. Let's see here. Sorry guys, I was thinking it was raining there for a minute. Yeah, but the way it looks, I'm guessing that goes just like that. I mean, you could really put it either way. But because there's a hole there, why not put it that way? Oh, I see. Yeah, it's got to go this way, guys. because the holes are offset a little bit. So it's got to go this way. If you flip it the other way, well, I guess you could flip it like that. Do it like that. But yeah, see, the holes are still offset a little bit, so we need to put it like this. Why it's like that, I don't know. And then, even then, the holes are still just a tad offset, but it'll be fine for what we need. It won't hurt nothing. Let's see which side. Okay, those go on that side. Alright, now for my star bolts. My 4 Torx bolts. Because they are going to go straight through the body. Bam, 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 bam. Bam, 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 bam. Alright, and it'll go something just like that. Guys, once again, if you like my content, please subscribe. I hope you're all enjoying it. I know you guys seem to have enjoyed that vinegar experiment video, because I had a lot of views on it. I'm just checking to make sure this choke rod right here clears, guys. So I want to make sure that it functions properly. Well, it's not the choke rod, it's actually the throttle rod, but you guys get what I mean. Because it's got to hook down and into the throttle. So see, it has to go like this. There's no other way for it to go. But yeah, if you guys are enjoying my content, please like and subscribe. And I sincerely hope you guys are enjoying it. Because I enjoy doing stuff like this. But like I was saying, I know you guys got a kick out of that vinegar video. If you guys would like to see more stuff like that, that's cool too. I'll do a few more experiments like that. I don't mind doing stuff like that. I can do a little bit of everything. Given the opportunity, I can do a little bit of everything. And remember guys, this one was an E6 Torx bit, an inverted Torx bit. Let's see if I've got the right one. Yep, E6 inverted Torx. Now I gotta find my ratchet. Guys, I have been working on my 72 a little bit. I haven't been able to film it because I've been working on it late at night. But I just put a starter on it, and it does run now. I'll get you guys in on some of the video of it shortly, and we'll see where it goes, because it should be ready to try to ride soon. And you want to kind of tighten these up evenly. Just kind of crisscross back and forth. And you ain't got to gorilla tie them. You don't want to break the manifold. Trust me, they're expensive. I just want to see how that gap looks real quick. Oh. Yeah, we're going to have to double gasket that one because that gap is pretty big. So we're going to pull these back out and put another gasket on it, guys. I don't like how big that gap is. Double gasket should be fine. I don't see an issue with it. I think that's why they send two, because of these plastic intakes. And every one of them I've ever seen is like that, guys. I don't get it. I mean, why would you make a plastic intake that's going to warp? And it did press down. It just wasn't pressing right here in the middle. So that's what you have to look out for. That middle section doesn't compress. So I want to make sure it compresses good. So we're going to double gasket it and make sure that we all good. Because once again, guys, I'd rather have it right than do it twice. not a fan of having to do something twice. Alright guys, I'm trying to keep it up here on the workbench. Sometimes I have to pull it down to look at something. My workbench is built a little taller than what I like. I didn't build this workbench. It was here when I bought the place. But we'll get it all adjusted eventually. We'll just kind of snug them down a little bit at a time. Just kind of crisscross them. And you don't want them too tight because it could open that gap back up again. Oh. Let's see how that looks. That's better. It's not perfect, but it's better. I'm hoping it's good enough to still seal. See guys? It's not perfectly closed right there, but I think it'll be fine. We'll give them one more little snug, and then we'll be good. Making sure the throttle works. No binding. Wang, 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 wang. I know, I'm crazy. You guys just have to bear with me. Alright, it looks like she's ready to put back on. And guys, when you go to put this back on, there's O-rings right here. They did send gaskets for you to use. I think that my O-rings will be okay. They're not raised up really at all. So I might ought to put the gaskets on. So I think that's what we're going to do is put the gaskets on. Hold on a second guys, I got some sweat in my eye or something. Alright, that's better. Alright, yeah, we may put these gaskets on here just to give some extra sealing to it. But that's it for the carburetor assembly, guys. I may post this one as a separate video, but I'll post it all together. And I'll title the video like carburetor rebuild or something. That way if you guys want to go just watch the carburetor rebuild, you can just go watch that instead of having to watch me mess with the lawnmower and stuff like that. But now I'm going to go put it on and we'll get you guys a video of it running. I still have to clean the fuel tank out. And once we do that, we'll get some fuel in it and we'll get it ready to run.